The Rock Whisperer. Do you hear the earth talking to you?
Mohs hardness scale 3-2. In 1812, a German mineralogist, Friedrich Mohs, invented the hardness scale. Part of his hardness scale is based on some common everyday objects. Fingernail, we always have one with us, a penny, an iron nail, and a piece of glass. Another object you could use is also a steel file. So we know that a fingernail's hardness is approximately 2.5, a penny 3.5, the glass is 5.5, and the steel file is around 7. We can also see on this particular scale the hardness numbers that are given, but actually the true hardness. So diamond is much harder than corundum or topaz, even though they are all relatively high on the hardness scale. Those everyday objects show up on Mohs hardness scale related to the minerals. So there are 10 minerals that have been arbitrarily picked to go along with his hardness scale. And let's look at a fingernail for one example. A fingernail is 2.5. If your fingernail scratches a mineral, that would be talc or gypsum, that's because your fingernail is harder than them based on the internal atomic structure that we talked about in the first video in this unit. But if your fingernail is scratched by a mineral, then that means that the mineral has a hardness that's greater than 2.5, which could be any of these other minerals that are here. The same applies for the copper penny, the iron nail, the piece of glass, the steel file, or the streak plate. If a mineral does not leave a streak on the streak plate that we talked about in the first video, that means that the mineral has a hardness greater than 7. And here's yet another example of Mohs hardness and how we go about determining the hardness of certain minerals. So we can see that talc is soft, it's flaky, and it leaves a greasy, soapy feeling on your fingers. We know that apatite, which is a mineral, can be scratched by a nail, but it's relatively difficult to do that. And when we look at topaz, corundum, and diamond, those three minerals are very rare, and they're also, it's rare to find minerals that are of that hardness. So we'll be applying this when we do the mineral identification lab in class, so you'll get a little bit more understanding of how that works.
Don't forget to listen to the earth.